there, mate?
Wait,
Absolute Pascalception going on.
Gosh.
well, I used to play Flesh and Blood just before. I need to.
Oh, that's brilliant. Cool. I've been recording this entire time, gent. So there's going to be that section when you're upside down in the video, like starting off with you upside down.
Like last time when you recorded me getting shit.
Absolutely, yeah. You have to keep those bits in. You have to.
It was glorious.
That's what I found. You have to record like straight away, so you don't miss any good bits. You know.
Oh yeah.
God, blowing my nose. Yeah, great.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. So hello, yes,
Okay.
welcome back to Go Again Gaming, and welcome back to Bravo Bros. This is episode 3 here on the channel. And how's it going, lads? First of all.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Expect of my sunburned face.
Yeah. What's the story behind that then? You were giving us a sort of preamble before the show started. What actually happened
Well, a good friend of mine had his sister from England over,
Wait.
and we wanted to show her some mountains. So we went to a mountain, and I was the only idiot who didn't use sunscreen.
All right.
Yeah, but the thing is, maybe you can see it like a bit even going through here. I did wear my sunglasses, and they work.
Fantastic. So you got makeup on right now. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Looks fantastic. Look flawless.
Thank you very much.
What brand was you using? What makeup brand was you
I
using?
have no idea. It just grabbed the first best thing that I could find.
Oh, brilliant. Fantastic.
Oh, what is it? It must be Maybelline or whatever.
Yeah, maybe it's Maybelline.
Maybelline, that's the
Yeah,
one.
that's
It's
Fantastic.
skin colored,
it.
for me at least.
Oh, God.
Before we dive into it, I did not know you can get sunburn from mountains in Switzerland. I did not know that.
Well, actually,
Who'd thought?
No.
you're pretty high up, so
Yeah.
there's a pretty high rate of
UV.
light.
That makes sense.
Okay.
There's snow, which reflects like 100% of this UV light, so you have like 200% UV light.
Oh,
when
wow.
you're up in the mountains at the moment. And I was like,
200%.
"Ah, close to 200%, yeah.
Can we get the mathematical breakdown for that?
Yeah.
Well, 100% plus 99% is close to 200.
That's close enough.
Oh, goodness.
Fantastic. Yeah, I have to visit at one point. You know, climb Mount. Was it Mount Pilatus? You keep going on about.
Yes,
Yeah. Have to
exactly.
Do that at some point.
But it was a different mountain. It was a different mountain this time. We didn't climb up. We took they were like this. How do you say that in English? Those trains, but they're hanging.
Hanging. Oh,
Okay.
cable cars. Cable
Cable
cars.
cars. Yeah, exactly. Cable
Yeah.
cars.
Nice. That's cool. Fantastic. Well, we've got some preamble out the way. So welcome back to Bravo Bros episode 3. And today we're going to be speaking about some crush effects of Bravo. So crush effects are essentially on-hit effects that are gated behind damage. So if you take 4 damage from a crush effect, that's when the crush effect triggers, isn't it? 4 damage.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
But one very important thing about that, it needs to be 4 damage that's dealt by the attack.
yeah.
If you use shock charmers to deal more damage with that attack, it's 2 different sources of the same attack action card,
Right.
so it does not trigger the crush effect.
Oh,
This
okay.
feels like a star of the show thing again. We've
Yes.
already been over this.
It was a thing in Star of the Show, but we will get a replacement for Star of the Show, or maybe we'll get a replacement. So this will be important if that
Yeah.
happens, because you can't just say, oh, okay, you took 3 damage, I'm activating shock charmers, now you took 4 damage and crush is active.
Yeah.
It's not true.
Yeah, okay. I think the crucial part of that is obviously because the crush effect says if crippling crush, the named card deals damage to 4 or more damage, that's when you get the crush effect, right? Is that why it works like that? Or
No, not exactly, because shock charmers say that if an attack action card deals damage, it deals an additional damage.
oh right,
So
That's
Crippling
confusing.
Crush deals an additional damage. But the thing is, Crippling Crush deals 3 damage plus 1 damage in 2 goes. It doesn't deal 4 damage in 1 go, and that's why it doesn't work.
I see. Yeah,
We had that at our Pro Tour ProQuest Season 1 games in Lucerne. So that's why I actually know that.
Yeah.
And I didn't know it when I was going into Pro Tour. So yeah, I wanted to misplay that, but luckily my friend who trained with me is a judge and said, okay, this discussion came up in the judge forum, and this is the solution. So don't play Shock Charm, isn't starable.
Yeah.
Firstly.
That's why I thought about it, because obviously on the cards it says if so and so deals 4 or more damage. You would think that if a card was adding damage to the named card, that it would still trigger, but that's not the case. So that's good to know straight off the bat as well with these effects.
Yeah, so something like a pump, like a sluggism, or even like a pummel, that would trigger.
Yeah, because it increases the physical damage stat of the card, and it doesn't just deal 1 more damage.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, Bravo has access to a load of these crush effects, and what better place to start than his specialization? It's probably the best place to start, right, with Crippling Crush? What would you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
It's also
It
the
was number
first
1 on
card
my
that is in the list. Yeah, same.
Yeah. And we spoke about it before on the previous episodes, but we can delve into a little bit more with each card now with the crush effect. But yeah, this is so it's I'll read this first one out. So this is Crippling Crush. So it's a 7 cost Guardian action attack. It's a Bravo specialization, so only Bravo can use it. And blocks for 3, pitches for 1, and it says 11 damage straight away. For 7 resource, you can do 11 damage. And if this deals 4 or more damage to a hero, they discard 2 random cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
A little bit.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you can get it to land.
Mm.
So I was watching Flake on stream, not yesterday, Monday, watching him on stream Monday, and he was playing as Oldhim, and he first game against Bravo, the guy threw 3 crippling crushes. Only 1 of them ever landed.
Oh wow.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't need to land as necessarily against Oldhim as it does against the aggro matchups.
Yeah.
The thing is, against Oldhim, you want your crush effects or crush cards just to deal some amount of damage in order to bring him down in his life total. Because Oldhim won't have this big turn to hit back and just destroy you, like Fi, Viserai, Briar, or anything like that has.
Yeah.
So if it deals 3 damage, that's 3 damage.
Yeah.
So that's what you're using this card for against Oldhim, is just raw damage. Where obviously against the aggro, you want the interaction that it deals with, because you're taking away the value from the aggro player with the card disruption, right?
Exactly.
So, yeah.
I mean, the card disruption part is still pretty good, because if it happens, sometimes Oldhim doesn't have an arsenal left to prevent more damage, which is also great. So if you can make it hit, it is great. If you can deal those 4 damage, that's nice. But against Oldhim, it can sometimes be pretty difficult to do, because they can block 5 out of the back, and if they have a defense reaction, they block 8 only without any problems.
Yeah. So pretty good start place to start. And we mentioned on the last episode as well, when you get these, you just want to throw them out as much as you can, right? Whether that's through. We should mention as well that Bravo has dominate essentially on his hero ability, so you can get that crush effect through sometimes, more than often. Yeah. So you with this card, you just want to be throwing it out as much as you can. Essentially, you don't want to be storing it or doing anything else with it.
Well, there's one exception, which is Oldhim and Bravo, where you want to also pitch them down to have it in the late game. Otherwise, those heroes will just destroy them later.
Target.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But against aggro decks, if you can play it, you mostly just want to play it because it's the disruption effect you already mentioned.
Yeah.
2 cards of a Fi is most of the time 7 to 8 damage.
Yeah, exactly.
Even more. And if you just block, you will only cover 6 with 2 cards. And if you block with your whole hand, which is 4 cards, you block 12 damage. If you attack with Crippling Crush, you block 8 damage and also deal 8 damage.
Yeah.
Which is like the better thing to do in this on this regard.
Yeah. And we'll see with a lot of these cards as well, all of these crush effects, you know, a lot of them will say, I'm essentially taking a turn away from you. You know, whether you...
Good ones.
Yeah, the good ones. The good ones, yeah, exactly. But yeah, some of these will say, I'm essentially just taking your hand away or making it so that you have to block everything, otherwise I'm going to disrupt you. And this is definitely one of them. So... fantastic card. We all love throwing these, especially when they're dominated crippling crushes. You know, we've said that a lot, haven't we? Dominating crippling crush. Dominated crippling crush.
Yeah.
But yeah, Flake is playing a lot of Bravo.
Cozy 11 with dominate in your face.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something to remember as well. It can be played by any Bravo, just in case you're playing that Living Legend format in the future.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say, 13 dominate with go again is pretty good.
Yeah.
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, pretty good place to start, and yeah, definitely a crippling card when it hits you.
Oh yeah.
The next one as well is also very, very good against a lot of matchups, and that's Spinal Crush.
Yeah.
Go Pascal.
In my opinion, the best crush effect card that exists at the moment, because it can be played also by all team.
True.
So both guardian can use it, so which makes it inherently better. And I also think against those matchups where you want to have crippling crush to disrupt the enemy, the opponent, it's even better to just take away go again, so they will do even less in their turn. They keep their hand, but they can't do anything with it. They can't block and they can't attack. They're like, okay, I'm attacking with 4, your turn.
That's it.
And with Crippling Crush, for example, if you're hitting a Viserai player with it here, who has an arsenal and 4 cards in hand, he'll just say no block, take 11, having 2 cards in the arsenal left, and still hit you for 12.
Still play 3 cards. Yeah.
And
but then he can't do that. They can't do that with Spinal, right? Because they just take away go again completely. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Nice.
That's why I think Spinal Crush is better, because the matchups I struggle the most with as Bravo is Kodachi Fai, who doesn't have a problem with Crippling Crush, and Viserai, who also doesn't care about Crippling Crush. Not as much as, for example, Briar does. If Briar has her General Mount out and you Crippling Crush her, you can maybe just take both attack action cards and she can't attack at all. And with Viserai, they're most of the times 50-50 with attack and non-attack action cards. So you mostly take one of each, and they also can do pretty nuts turns with just 2 non-attack action cards as well. They can just go to a preparation turn where they create lots of rune shunts and pass back.
Yep.
And the turn after that they hit you really big then. So in my experience and also in my opinion, I have to say Spinal Crush is inherently better against those matchups. Of course, Crippling Crush is good in every matchup. Reiner doesn't like Crippling Crush. Spinal Crush doesn't bother Reiner at all because they create action points and not go again.
True.
Yeah. But Crippling Crush just takes away the turn from Reiner. And Levia mostly dies if you Crippling Crush her because she dies of blood deaths.
Yeah. Horrible
and
card.
I also heard that Azalea doesn't like Crippling Crush as well.
Oh, fuck no. No, she hates it, mate. She bloody hates it.
And also Spinal.
Oh, God. Yeah, any crush effect, really. But yeah, I think Spinal's one of my favourites as well because it simulates Red in the Ledger the most. Because it takes away all go again. Red in the Ledger says you can only play 1 action, so it's like similar-ish to a certain degree.
Yeah, it's just a better version of Red in the Ledger.
Oh yeah, of course it is. Yeah, it's gated. It's gated behind a crush effect. So if I have a D-react and an Iron Rock Gauntlet, I can still stop this.
Yeah, then I have a pummel and we're all good.
And then we're all good. Yeah.
Yeah, if you got the pummel.
But the thing is, you don't need to arsenal it in order to play it, and you can give it dominate just by paying 2. You don't have to go through so much hoops in order to give it dominate like it is with Red in the Ledger. Of course, if Red in the Ledger comes out dominated, it's better than Spinal Crush. But to do that, you need more steps that work out in order to get it.
Yeah, but that's
a lot more work involved.
Yeah, exactly. A lot more hoops to jump through. whereas this, you can just pay 7, right? So you activate Bravo and then you just pay 5 and then you love the old job, really.
Exactly, and you still have 2 floating if you want to crush to pummel it.
Yeah.
Just kidding. You don't. Most of the time you don't pummel a dominated attack. But
No. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've made some serious errors playing this card. I remember taking damage, taking 9 damage, and just thinking, yeah, all right, I'm gonna have a bigger turn next turn. I played a take aim, which obviously it was like a buff effect, which we had go again on it. But then I realised that Spinal Crush affects all cards and all actions. So
Yeah.
I buffed an arrow that never came, essentially. And I was gutted. I
Yeah.
was gutted.
Happens.
Yeah,
Happens.
exactly. But yeah, Spinal Crush, very, very good. And yeah, more tailored towards the go wide, unga bunga style heroes that just want to do loads of different things on their turn. Next is another majestic crush, and this has got Valda on the art.
Well, in my list, it's just a super rare.
Super.
Oh right, yeah, sorry, that's right. Yeah, it is right. Yeah, super rare.
I mean, if
Do you
you're
remember
looking at,
super
like-
rares?
Yeah, I remember.
They're a bit like a Hive. It's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers them.
Back in my day. Yeah. But
This
this
MySpace. Nobody remembers it.
Oh yeah, I love that. When you used to go on someone's profile and used to like blare like metalcore straight in their ear. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's my mate's profile. Oh shit.
Yeah. Good old MySpace.
Yeah,
That's
brilliant.
the super rare class, that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
But yeah, so yeah, super rare when it was back in Welcome to Wraith, and this is a 6 cost blue pitch, blocks for 3, attacks for 8, and it says if Cranial Crush deals 4 or more damage to a hero, they can't draw cards during their next action phase.
This card is amazing, and I've really undervalued this card until last night.
All right.
I was playing a game on Talishar against a guy playing as Briar,
Oh yeah.
and I don't think he knew what it did, and I dominated, and I swung it, and it landed. He didn't bother blocking. On his turn, he went. The name of it's gone from my head, but the fuse card where if your attack is greater than your base, you draw a card.
Oh,
You've
Force
got-
of Nature.
Yeah,
Force
that's
of
it.
Nature. I've got
Yeah.
Briar built. How did I not know that? He got Channel Mount Heroic out. Threw an attack. I went, okay.
Nice.
Didn't draw. And he was like, and then he messaged me saying, I'm pretty certain I should have drawn 2 cards here. I was like, no, mate. I hit you with Cranial Crush last turn. You can't draw.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, oh, yes, that's me done then.
Fantastic. I love that.
So I didn't appreciate this card until last night, and the reason I didn't appreciate it either was because it's, as you said, it's got Valda on it. It's her image. It's her in the flavor text. But this card simply negates her ability if successful.
Yeah, that's right.
So why would you use it with her?
Yeah, it's a weird flavour fail, isn't it?
In the mirror match.
Yeah, in the
In the
mirror.
mirror match, you're winning. Yeah. But
Yeah, literally on the art, it will flash up the art. But she's literally staring into the mirror at the moment. There, look, she's got a mirror by the head.
yeah, this card is actually. I'm gonna admit my past mistakes, and say actually this card's pretty good.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
Also,
yeah, go on.
it's a blue. It's also a blue that blocks for 3
Exactly.
and has 6 or more attacks. So you can't go wrong with that.
No,
It's good for Rouse the Ancients as well. It's a good card to reveal.
Oh yes, absolutely. You can also use it to pitch for hammer afterwards.
And Hammer.
amazing. I mean, yeah, I mean, at first glance, you'd think, you know, if it deals 4 or more damage, they can't draw cards during their action phase. You know, are there many heroes that really do that? And would this be a sideboard option or even a main board option, depending on who you're playing, really? Because who likes to draw cards? But obviously, as you mentioned there, Tom, exactly that, the Force of Nature
Briar.
turn, the Force of Nature turn, yeah.
Or Royal Bravo.
Royal Bravo. Yeah.
Yes.
Royal Oldhim as well. Zach Bunn took Royal Oldhim to a ProQuest. You know,
What?
they're out there. Yeah,
Prevent those cash-ins.
yeah.
I mean, you can also just draw a card by activating Crown of Seeds, but okay.
Bloody Crown of Seeds.
No, it's got to have a crown, Dominion, gold. It's gotta be there.
So many heroes just want to be killed by Arachne's regicide.
Oh, please.
That's it. If no Arachne player is packing it, then now everyone's like, oh, put the crown of Dominion on. Okay.
Oh.
Just sneaks in at the end. I win.
Well, I can't wait for someone to actually die, like, from a regicide on stream sometime. That's going to be hilarious. It's got to happen at some stage.
It would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So Cranial Crush, yep, it's obviously good against in that situation. But is there any other situations it could be good in, or is it just in the deck because it's a blue block 3? What else would you use it for? Do you think?
I mean, it's also an attack for 8. You can just pay 6 to attack for 8 without dominating. If your opponent is like on 1 hit point, he still needs to block with 3 cards in order to not die.
Yeah.
It has a high damage value for a blue card. Normally blue cards don't go over 6 or 5.
Right.
This one goes to 8, which is pretty good.
Yeah. Cool.
And in the late game, you will have only blue hands. You can pitch 2 of your 4 cards for this and swing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
can even dominate it, maybe if you didn't need to block.
True talk.
I think it's the second best blue card in Bravo.
Ooh.
But we're not talking about the best one because it
not a
doesn't have a
crush.
crush effect. Yes.
Nice. So that was Cranial Crush. The next set of cards comes in all pitch values, and this is Disable. Which I think it has some nice utilizations because you could also use it as a budget replacement for CNC, can't you?
Yeah. It was Command and Conquer before Command and Conquer was sexy.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. The thing is, I would recommend to switch that out as soon as possible because the biggest drawback this one has is it allows the opponent to use defense reactions to avoid being command and conquered in that sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you just start the game and want to have a budget version of the deck, go with it. That's fine. It will also help you to win some games. It has 9 base damage, costs 5 pitches for 1, has 3 blocks if you play the red one, which would be the replacement for Command and Conquer. So it's attacking for 3 more than Command and Conquer. You can dominate it, so it will hit for 6 if they block with 1 card normally, or for 5 it's a defense reaction. So it deals damage. It has an on-hit effect that is not totally terrible. It's pretty good actually. But I think, other than the replacement for the budget version for Command and Conquer, the red one shouldn't see play at the moment. But the blue one is sick. The blue one is very good.
Nice.
It has 5 cost, 7 base damage, which is more than 6. So even if you don't dominate it and attack an opponent with 1 hit point and you attack with this, they also need 3 cards to block. And you can also create a Seismic Surge token, which you couldn't with Cranial Crush. Cranial Crush costs 6, this one costs 5. So you pitch 2 blues, create a Seismic Surge token, swing for 7, they need to block.
Cool. Yeah.
And you could also potentially dominate if you have more than enough cards in your hand and didn't need to block. But it's a pretty versatile blue crush card in your deck.
And pretty much always a staple. You don't see pretty much any lists without it.
I mean, it's even a staple in most of the old him lists these days. It is such a good card. I think it's better than Cranial Crush because it's most of the times it's better than Cranial Crush because you can, if you have a Seismic Surge token, you just need 1 blue and a red to play it.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Cranial Crush because you're not really playing any yellows. Except if you're such a crazy guy as I am and play 1 yellow pummel.
1.
One.
1 is all you need.
Righteous
need
cleansing.
Spicy pummel.
Righteous cleansing, mate.
I'm not sure about that at the moment.
No, it's a weird effect.
You took it out of your list, didn't you?
I took it out of my list because Cell Sprouting is better.
Yeah.
In those matchup I wanted, so I went for that. Yeah.
Nice. So the red one is obviously a good CNC replacement, and the blue one is a staple. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
In general,
you can't play Bravo without the blue one, so
one.
just get 3 in foil and you're good.
Nice. Fantastic. 3 in foil. No other way. Yeah.
I mean, they're still very cheap to buy in foil.
Yeah.
Other than Spinal or Crippling Crush, they're pretty expensive nowadays in foil. But rares are still very cheap.
Yeah. Pimp out those decks. I mean, what the Welcome to Wraith card stock was a lot better as well back then. You know, the new card stock with the foils is absolutely awful, to be honest.
Pringles like crazy, the new stuff.
It really does, yeah. You have to proper watch like what temperature you're putting your cards in. It's ridiculous, really. But
it's easy. You just get one of these.
You should get one of those, yeah.
Use the hard inners from KMC. Use katana sleeves, and you just press everything in the deck box so it doesn't fall out if you could.
Fantastic! Look at that!
Staying in.
Look at that demonstration. That's like
Oh yeah.
That's like the professor's shake test when he puts stuff in the box and shakes it like this. Oh my god!
Nothing
It
happened.
won't fall out. Boom. Oh,
Boom!
Yeah, sorry.
It won't fall out. Bravo! All over the floor. Slabs all over the floor.
Let me just grab my deck real quick.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh
yeah.
my god, that's brilliant.
Keeping this in.
Yes, this is being kept in easily, yeah. Oh, my deck's all over the floor. All these cold foils that you got from Worlds signed and everything all over the floor.
No, I don't have my equipment in here, so it's good.
Oh, fair enough.
And I
did consider trying to foil my Bravo deck, and I was like, I looked at the cost of Crippling Crush and foil, and I was like, I think I'll leave it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I bought those when they were like $5 or something.
What are they now then?
Nice.
I have no idea.
Pound copies of that.
Bloody hell.
Wow.
I was like, yeah, I've already owned them. I'm not buying them again just to foil them up.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I got it in non-foil first and foiled it up, but back when the difference wasn't that high.
Nice. So that was Disable. Now I'm moving
Yes.
on. Moving on to all these ones that we're going to mention now do come in all pitch values, and obviously
Exactly. Yes.
they all block for 3, and obviously they attack for different values depending on the color. So the next one is Buckling Blow. So the red one attacks for 8, yellow one attacks for 7, and the blue one attacks for blue. Blue one attacks for blue. Crayons. Here we go. Blue one attacks for 6. So this one says crush effect. If Buckling Blow deals 4 or more damage to a hero, put a -1 counter on target equipment they control. What about this? What about this one? What colours are used for this one, and where are we using it? Blue.
Blue.
Just blue. Yeah, I can't.
Just blue.
I was
main
thinking about
deck.
this. The red one doesn't need to be in there. There's too many cards that are better that fit in the red slots. The few red slots Bravo will have. The blue, it's fine. Blocks for 3.
Absolutely.
Nice. Fantastic. Crush effect, putting -1 counters on things, it's okay, I guess. But again, you're just using the blue one here to essentially just block 3 and pitch, etc. You're not really using the effect, or putting this in to target things. You're not using the crush effect to target any other heroes. Essentially, you're just using it as a filler.
You can. I mean, you can kind of team it with Buckle.
Mm-hmm.
And
or with Mangle.
Or with Mangle.
Yeah.
And blow up some equipment, but yeah, you're probably more likely to be using this as a block or pitch. It's not something you're going to be.
Was it?
Oh god, he's holding it at the bottom. That's why.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It slips. It just slips out, but it's still in pretty tight. So the effect of not pringling is still given.
Yeah.
It just slides in. Perfect.
I have little silicone sachets in mine.
Yeah.
Just kept them from
those. I ordered those from the professor's deck box he did. There's like this. I think he uses foam, not silicone. Like dividers that expand, and it's. I will try them out. They should be shipped out pretty close
Yeah, I
to
got the
today.
email. I got the email today. Yeah. So
I also got it today, and I also gave the okay to my address that the address is still correct. I think it should be shipped out pretty soon. I ordered 3 deck boxes. I think
Nice.
that's too much.
I'll stick to Ultimate Guard Sidewinders.
yeah, they'll do. They'll
You
do.
can put an Ultimate Guard Sidewinder in to the deck box, into the archive. It's called
I
no.
hate like
Academic.
deck boxes. So here's a deck box for your deck box to put your deck box in.
Yeah, you do need
Yeah.
you do need a deck box for a deck box. To be fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Back to Buckling Blow.
Yeah.
I used to run the red one in my lists back when Bloodsheath Skeletor was still legal in CC to destroy Bloodsheath Skeletor because I can't win against that deck otherwise. It worked out somewhat.
Yeah.
It wasn't great, but it deals 8 damage. They need to block it out, otherwise Skeletor will go down to -1, and after that it's a target for Mangle, because Buckle wasn't an option back then. And if at some point Bloodsheath Skeletor gets back in, I will definitely try out the red Buckling Blow with Buckle in combination, and maybe it will work. We will see. But I hope it doesn't get unbanned. Not in
Yeah,
the near future.
I think I remember you saying in Discord that you hate Viserai. So is Viserai a really hard matchup for Bravo?
I mean, I don't hate it. I hate playing on Bravo against Viserai because all the Bravo disruption doesn't affect Viserai as much as it does others.
Right.
Like we already said, Disable, he doesn't care too much. Crippling Crush, he can still deal 12 damage after that, and to cast the Crippling Crush, we need to take some damage the turn before in order to keep those cards to dominate Crippling Crush.
Yeah.
So, yeah. After that, you still take 12 damage, which is too much after you took like 15 damage from a Viserai to play Crippling Crush. And Spinal Crush is the only one that can actually stop him, really. So that's the one you need.
Yeah.
Also, if you go and look at the other crushes that prevent, for example, Fi or Briar to be very strong, like Chokeslam, Briar and Fi are hit by that because they have so many effects that give +1 or +2 to certain attacks. You will at least prevent like 4 damage a turn. In Channel Mount Heroic, if in those turns, even more.
Oh god, yeah.
So
yeah.
And with Viserai, if you hit Shrill of Skull form, they will just arsenal it and attack with the rest, and they still do the same amount of damage anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I think Viserai is one of the hardest matchups for Bravo that is out at the moment.
So you're effectively, when Bloodsheath was in there, you were actually putting in Buckling Blows to then combo it with Mangle just to try and take out that piece. That's how much bother it was causing. Yeah.
Yes, because otherwise turn 4 I'm dead.
Jeez. Wow. Bloody hell. Nice. Yeah.
But nowadays the blue one is still played because it's 6 attack and blocks for 3.
Yeah.
And also, yeah. Normally you don't play it. If you have a full blue hand, you can dominate it with 2 blues, which is nice to deal the last amount of damage. But normally you don't do that.
Yeah. Nice. Next card is I think I saw someone on Twitter like saying that this is one of the worst art in the game, and this is Cartilage Crush.
Cartilage Crush.
Yeah, the art on it is just like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's a cartilage crush.
They're crushing cartilage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the name.
It's in the name. This would make sense. Just read the card. Yeah.
Yes.
Don't look at the art. Read the card. But yeah. So this obviously comes in all pitch values. This attacks for 7, 6, or 5, depending on the pitch value. And the crush effect essentially is a sort of like an old school tax effect, really. So if it deals 4 or more damage to a hero, the first action during their next turn costs additional 1. So it's
Yeah.
sort of like
Garbage.
yeah,
I mean, that card is bad.
it's just bad in general. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the Blu-ray, as you said, is it's not the 6, is it? It's not above 6
Yeah.
power. Red's not
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
No.
And the on-hit isn't really stopping as much damage as it needs to in order to be good, so no.
Yeah.
At a push, it's a commoner deck card.
Yeah.
At a push.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Cool. Yeah. So move on from that one then. So next one is Crush Confidence. This has got cool sort of art on it. The Bravo's at the center on this one. I'm not sure whether this is used, but again, this is 7, 6, or 5 for the attack. Obviously, all blocks for 3. This one costs 3 though, so it's one of the cheaper ones, right? One of the cheaper
Yes.
attacks. But would you use this?
No.
No, not anymore.
Maybe back in the day.
Back in the day when there weren't enough crush effects, I would have preferred Crush Confidence before Crush Cartilage Crush, because the crush effect actually bothers some heroes.
Yeah.
It's not very strong, but at least it does something. Because if it crushes the hit hero loses all hero abilities.
Yeah.
So no Viscerai triggers that create Rune Chant, no Katsu search ability, no attacking twice with Dawnblade on Dori. So it was fine back in the days, but I think today when we have so many 6 attack blues, it's not necessary anymore.
Yeah.
And again, commoner at best, probably.
Yeah.
And again, it's really just because the card pool's so small that you might as well just have it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next to one that attacks for 8, 7, or 6 is Debilitate.
Yep. Yep. So we got Debilitate.
And we're back on one that you use nowadays to just pitch, block, or pop. Or pull that last damage through if you dominate it. Just the blue one. I would not play the red one because the effect doesn't really bother anyone. The first attack in their turn gets -2. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's not enough
Who
value,
cares?
is it? Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not even taking away a card -2, is it? So yeah, we covered the Welcome to Wraith crush effects, and now we're going to go into the Crucible crush effects. We probably will see crush again in the future, I imagine, when we
I
go.
hope so. I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, we probably will see it again. But yeah, let's go on to the Crucible of War ones now. Have you got the cards up? Because I don't have the cards up yet.
I have the cards up. Okay, first one is Crater Fist.
Huh?
I suppose it's an honorary crush card, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I mean, it has crush written on the effect, so it's a crush card per se.
Good shout.
Yeah.
Good shout.
I mean, it blocks for 2, has the temper effect, so if it blocks, it gets -1 counter on it. If it's on 0 or less, it gets destroyed at the end of the combat chain. So it technically blocks for 3 in total. It has the effect that you can pay 3 resources as an action to destroy Crater Fist as a part of the payment. And your attacks with Crush gain +2 until end of turn.
Okay.
And then go again. Which is something I did once.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, you run this for the armor alone. You'd never really play the effect, right?
I mean, you
When
only do
did
it
you
if
use
you know. My opponent was on 3, and I had a 6 attack, and I knew they can block 5. So I needed to go up to 8, and I had enough resources to do that. So
wow.
yeah,
There we are then.
I popped it in that first Patreon pit fight game
true. You
Oh
did,
yeah. What did you
because I didn't realise it blew itself up.
No. There's a crater
Yeah.
where my fist used to be.
Yeah, back in day when I was just kind of getting into Guardian a bit more.
Yeah. Good class.
Yeah,
But yeah,
absolutely.
worth noting because obviously, yeah, crush attacks is what we're talking about, and obviously this affects crush. But we haven't used it too much. But but maybe we'll see in the future.
I mean, once in 2 years is pretty much, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe we'll get some more crush effects in future sets. But the only ones that exist at the moment are the ones in Welcome to Wraith, which we've just explained, and the ones that are coming up now. So what's the next one, Pascal? If you're on the train, you're the one.
The next one is Mangle. It's a Majestic. It's a redliner card, pitches for 1, costs 4, attacks for 8, and blocks for 3. It has the crush effect. If it deals 4 or more damage, destroy target equipment with at least -1 counter on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You can dominate it with 2 blues, which is pretty nice. It's one of the lower cost cards in Guardian, and it also attacks for 8.
Yeah. So we mentioned it earlier, didn't we? Because of the buckling blow, which you can combo it with this, afterwards to destroy an equipment essentially, but don't use it anymore. You said don't really use it anymore.
No, it's too much jumping through hoops, and I don't really want to destroy a certain equipment or a specific equipment. And if I want to do that, buckle is way more efficient because I can just put it on Anathos and attack for 7 dominate.
Yeah.
For the same resources I used here, and I can just pitch buckle for blue, which I can't do with Mangle. So it kind of got obsolete in the current meta. Maybe we will have this one boogeyman equipment piece we need to destroy, but I think it's not that efficient to do it with Mangle.
No. But what I do like from both Mangle and the card that's coming next is this character that's on the art, this Jarl Vatrady. He's on the next card, which is Righteous Cleansing as well, which we'll read out in a moment. But I just wanted to touch on the art, because I think this is the same character, right? Massive.
I think so.
It looks like it. Yeah, he's on Pulverize as well, and he's on. He's actually on Stamp Authority. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So he's got angel wings as well, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yes. He has wings.
Yeah, so he's got that. He's got that in Mangle and Righteous Cleansing. So it's like,
yes, he does.
So maybe maybe this is. Yeah, look, no,
maybe it has feathers.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
looks more like wings.
Yeah.
I mean, it can just be some wings from a killed angel he just uses as a cape. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
I mean, he is pretty bloody in all of his artworks.
Yeah. Extremely gory, but yeah, I just can't wait to see if this is going to be a hero.
I hope.
I really hope so.
Oh, yeah.
Because
I would need that hero in cold foil. God damn it.
Yeah, you can just see it. You could just see him. You could just see him like being one of those heroes that just doesn't care about armor. He just smashes through armor easily.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know if it's anything like the cards that have got Valder on. It'll be the exact opposite. It'll give them extra +1 counters instead.
If this attack crush, if the crush effect hits, just gain 1 equipment piece.
Gain 1 equipment.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Gain 1 equipment.
Brilliant.
Polar bloody opposite.
We're in speculation mode already. But yeah, I just thought I'd point that out. But the next one that this character potentially features on, it looks like, is Righteous Cleansing, which is in a weird spot, I think, being a yellow. Never really seen it being played.
I mean, it's played because of the mirror match. It is potentially a card that can also pull through some damage against Oldhim, because he can dominate it for 10, and then he can only block 5, he will take 5 damage, something like that. The crush effect doesn't matter at all, if we're honest. It's I tried it against Dash to filter out her items and destroy the items before she can play it. It didn't work out really that well.
No.
It's better to just run through and use those go again attacks against Dash.
Yeah. Look at the top 5. Look at the top 5 cards and trying to hit 2 or more cards with the same name. It doesn't really happen too often, right? Either if you're trying to find a certain card, the top 5 is not enough. I don't think.
I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to hit a certain card. You can just hit either Plasma Purifier or how's it called? The other one that
Induction Chamber.
Induction Chamber, actually, exactly. Just hit one of those, and you're more out of the danger than you would have been if that was on top.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
That's 10 damage.
There's 10 damage.
It's 10 damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dragons don't like it. Dragons and Phantasm don't like it.
No.
Yeah, you can pop.
It's a popper. It's definitely a popper.
It's a popper.
Yeah.
And it can be used to cast Pummel, which is also pretty nice.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
and then getting this to the bottom late game potentially. Who knows? Might be able to righteous cleansing at the end.
Yeah, but like we already touched, we have some other good options for the late game. So I'm a bit torn apart about this. I really like the play wise of the card, but in testing it didn't shine that bright.
Yeah. Do you find that yellow pitch cards just aren't good in Bravo then as well? You need the absolute value of red or the pure resources of blue. You never really
With
see.
one exception.
Yellow pummel.
Yellow pummel.
Yellow pummel.
It's the only exception.
It's the only yellow.
The only exception is one yellow pummel. And also yellow disable earlier when Prism was a thing.
Yeah.
To get rid of the library.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I suppose cleansing does that as well.
Yeah. I run both then.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Next one is Crush the Week.
Yeah.
So, do you want to read this one out as well? You might as well keep going with this one. With these ones.
I mean, I can read it out.
Yeah. Go for
Crush
it.
the Week, Redliner, pushes for 1, costs 3, attacks for 7, blocks for 3. Yellow one attacks for 6, and blue one attacks for 5. It reads out, if Crush the Week deals 4 more damage to a hero, they can't play attack action cards with 3 or less base attack value during their next action phase.
Currently not so good, but I think I used to really like this card.
I mean, before Stumpy Hammerers was banned, this card was nuts.
Yeah.
This card can just completely destroy a turn from the combo fi. Where you're just like, okay, you can't play any card with 3 or less base attack value, and they were like, okay, I pitch 2 reds to attack with Emberblade your turn.
Yeah.
Also, Belittle Briar.
Yeah,
Because Belittle Briar was all 3 or less damage attacks.
exactly. Yeah.
If it hits, it shuts it down.
So back in these days, I think Crush Week was a very good card. I used to run 3 red copies of it in the version I had before Lil, right after Lil. Now I just don't use it anymore because it doesn't really have any targets in the meta.
No. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Next one is one you really like, Tom. So we'll let you read this one.
So Choke Slam.
Choke Slam.
4 cost, 3 block, Guardian attack, action. The crush effect is if it deals 4 or more damage. Attack action cards your opponent controls cannot gain damage during their next action phase. Red hits for 8, yellow hits for 7, blue hits for 6.
Yeah, this is pretty deadly.
Love it. Yeah. Like I originally was like really heavy on Crush the Week, and then after speaking with Pascal off his course, swapped it out to Choke Slam. And yeah, my mate Martin, who again I've mentioned before, is sort of getting into the game and is absolutely he's dedicated to Bravo. He's like, when he first said about getting into the game, choke slam, big wrestling fan. It's like, how many choke slams can you put in a deck? Well, technically 9. So I'll have 9 in my deck then.
Good place to start.
Yeah, good a place as any. But yeah, getting rid of buffs, especially at the moment. I know we lost Stubby Hammers, so it doesn't really do so much there. But against Briar, for example, as soon as you see that Charm Heroic, it's a choke slam. Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, that's mean it forces blocks against those heroes that care about those sort of things, right? And as soon as you're forcing, as soon as you're forcing the block, that's when you know you're doing well against those matchups. And I play a lot of Azalea, as people know. Azalea hates this because she buffs she buffs Bolton shots to give her attacks go again.
What kind of Azalea are you playing? I normally don't attack.
Huh?
There's one arrow.
There's one arrow you use, right?
Endless arrow, wasn't it?
Yeah, endless arrow. You don't need any other arrows, right?
That's it. No. But yeah. Any class that cares about buffing, just kills them, which is just horrible.
Yeah. I'd also say this is like the third best crush card.
Really?
Yeah.
I had it as number 2.
I'm torn apart between number 1 and number 2, yeah. But I think Crippling Crush is slightly better in more situations than this one.
Crippling Crush was 3 for me.
Yeah, we just switched those out, and I think Spinal Tap is the best
Number 1.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It's literally a guy getting his spine crushed. You know what I mean? Just like,
Proper
Name is in the
yeah,
backbreaking.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Bane on Batman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we really have to say Chokeslam won me so many games in the Pro Quest this season, just by people not realizing everything that gives +1 is a buff.
Exactly. Yeah. You're still
yeah.
gaining power. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. The thing is,
So,
the thing
because
is,
Phi still uses Phoenix Flame, and it would negate the Phoenix
Phi
Flame
uses
ability as
Phoenix-
well.
I had this one Phi. He was on 9 life. I was just swinging with Chokeslam red. He was like, "Okay, I'll take 8." I was like, "Sure, go ahead."
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead. He started with the red Minoism. I was like, yeah, sure. Then he swung with I think it was the Blaze Headlong. It's like Blaze Headlong is coming in for 7. I was like, no, it's coming in for 4. I'll block 4 then. He's like, okay, as an instant, I will play R4, giving it +1. I was like, no.
No. No.
I was like, God damn it. I'll swing with Phoenix Flame for 2. No.
No. No.
Well, nothing. Nothing, actually. 'Cause it's 0,
No.
isn't it? Yeah.
Naughty. No.
Can't even get one.
And he was like, okay, I guess then I'm dead.
I guess
I was
I
like,
lose.
yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
Dominate Crippling Crush.
Dominate crippling. Oh, you naughty man. Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
What a way to end it.
On the Chokeslam.
On the chokeslam.
Chokeslam is...
On a Chokeslam finish.
Chokeslam finish always happens when the people don't know what Chokeslam does.
Yeah.
So many people just ignore it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chokeslam good card.
Yeah.
Artwork's a bit weird.
Chokeslamming a dinosaur or something, isn't it?
Yeah, like a dragon or
Choking is-
something.
He's choking a dinosaur or dragon. I think that's pretty metal.
It's pretty badass, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'd rather have seen someone getting actually like chokeslammed, like someone getting like I want to see a picture of the Big Show. Just
Yeah.
I mean,
Wasn't it Kane? Was
Kane
it?
on
It was Kane, isn't it? It was Kane who chains for his move, wasn't
Kane, The Undertaker, and Big Show.
it? Nice. Yeah.
Should have had a picture of each. The artwork should have been different on each pitch.
Should have been, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Kane should have been red. Undertaker should have been blue. Big Show could have been yellow.
Yeah.
And would have been fine.
Yeah, that was right. Oh, fantastic. But yeah, that was pretty much all the crush effects that we can access at the moment. So basically, on-hit effects that are gated behind damage. So yeah, they can do all manner of different things, as we just discussed. And I do like them. That's why I like Guardian a lot at the moment, is because there's on-hit effects. I like on-hit effects. I like things that force decisions, and this forces decisions with the on-hit effects, but also makes them potentially want to block with cards to prevent the gated the thing that they have to achieve to hit. So yeah, really like them. What's your favourite one at the moment? At this moment in time, I know what mine is.
then would you just start, because I still need to think about it?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So
I think
I mentioned
I'd be
it
going
earlier.
with
Let's do your first. Let's do yours first, Tom. What's your favourite?
I think I'd still be going with Spinal Crush.
Yeah. Ditto. I go with
Yeah.
that. I go with that as well. Spinal
I
Crush.
think it not just again, and I appreciate it's Bravo Bros, but the fact it's usable in every Guardian, and there's 4, like,
Yeah.
so
I mean, I think I have to also agree on that, actually.
There we go.
I was torn between Chokeslam and Spinal Crush for favorite, but
yeah,
I say Spinal Crush has so much more. It just looks so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Artwork, presentation wise,
Yeah.
artwork,
Let's be
text.
honest. Let's be honest. Crippling Crush is fine and all, but Bravo doesn't have nipples on it. It looks so weird.
No, exactly. Yeah. Naked Bravo. Hey
I mean-
there, sexy mama.
They can just have put something in front of where the nipple should have been, so it doesn't look so weird. But they just have this blank chest without any nipples. It's like, nah. Come on, that's weird.
He's not human. He's Aryan. Aryans don't have nipples.
Like a weird ass Ken doll.
Literally, yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So that's one of the main reasons why artwork wise don't like it too much, and which is also bringing me more to Spinal Crush, which looks insanely great.
Gotcha.
And it also breaks the spine of a ninja. I don't like ninjas.
No. It does. Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all the crush effects. We're probably going to see more in the future when we get a Guardian sort of esque set. I imagine it's quite a sort of it's ability that's tied to Guardian only. So I guess we are going to see it again when we get more Guardians. So I reckon we'll do another one of these at some point when we get more ones. But for now, that's pretty much all that we've got time for today on the crush effects. But join us again in a few weeks where we do another episode. Don't know what it's going to be. So we're gonna have that discussion between ourselves.
It's Bravo related.
Yeah, it's going to be Bravo related, obviously. But yeah, we'll find out what that is very, very soon. So stay tuned. But before we go, we have done this already, but we're going to do it again.
We have.
We're going to do it again. But the magic of cut, I could say whatever I want right now, and this won't make it into the video. So there's no, it's great, it's brilliant. The magic of editing. But we're gonna shout out our socials again.
Yeah, absolutely.
So because you disappeared into the aether, you went forward in time to come back. So yeah, where can people find you, Pascal?
People can find me on the D-React channel on YouTube, where I have more of a deep dive about Bravo on competitive level.
Yep.
I uploaded my first episode this Monday, where I'm talking about the general idea of the deck, and I did write the script of the Phi episode already, so Phi will come up pretty soon.
Nice.
I'm also in contact with a friend who is Icelander main to get more on information on what he dislikes when Bravo plays it against him.
Yep.
He was playing in Bologna. He did win the PTI event on Sunday, and his most crucial losses were all two or three Bravos.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be good, insightful discussion then. So make sure you go check that out on D-React. Links in the description box below.
Exactly. And on Twitter, it's just Supperworm. Nothing has changed on that.
Fantastic. He hasn't changed it to Superworm. He's keeping Supperworm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant. Fantastic. And Tom, where can people find you?
Big Boss 010 on Twitter and Big Boss Book Club on Instagram, Facebook, and Hive Social.
Oh, it's still around, isn't it?
It's still around. We checked. It's there. It's fine.
Well,
back next
I forgot to check in the future. I forgot to check when I was in the future if it's still there next week. But we will see next week.
We'll see, yeah. Do a bit of time travel every now and again. Just check, see what's going on. Maybe get some winning lottery numbers.
That'd be great.
Yeah, try and get those next time.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thanks very much, everyone who's tuned in. And yeah, we'll see you very, very soon to do it all over again and different topic. So, cheers.
Did you shout out your Discord and Patreon this time?
No, I didn't.